Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a special edition of Thursday's Tunes. I truly appreciate you joining me. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today on Thursday's Tunes, I want to pay a heartfelt special tribute to Wayne Osmond. Wayne was one of the Osmond brothers, and I have been loving the Osmonds since I was 8 years old. So when I went to the School for the Blind, that's where I was introduced to the Osmonds. And I have loved them since. I've met some of them. I've met Alan, Wayne, and Merrill back in 1985. I met Marie in the early 90s. And I met Donnie, I think it was 2003. And I haven't met Jay or Jimmy, so maybe someday. Anyway, the news that Wayne passed away on January 1st was just so sad because it was like an era is gone. And like I said, I have loved the Osmonds since I was 8 years old. I have, I think, all their albums, have some DVDs. Of course, I've gone to some of their concerts, tons of posters, tons of memorabilia. And so I wanted to pick a song to play along with that Wayne sang lead on, because usually Merrill sang lead, and every now and then Jay or Wayne would sing lead. So I listened to a lot of their songs, and I remember the one song that I did choose for today, Wayne singing. So I went back and I'm like, yeah, he's singing it. So before I go to the band room and play the song I chose that Wayne is singing lead on, I want to share my Osmond albums with you. If you'll let me indulge for just a bit, I want to share these albums with you and just some of my thoughts and feelings as we go through them. Now, I'm just doing the Osmonds, either Osmond Brothers or Osmonds. I still have a stack of Donnie Osmond albums, Marie Osmond albums, Jimmy Osmond albums. So I won't be doing those today, otherwise we would be here for a lot longer. So this album I actually found, I'm not sure where I found it, but I'm actually going to take the sleeve from it. This was an album that I originally did not have, but I found it later, I think at a thrift store or something like that, and it was in great condition. This is when they first started. They were on the Andy Williams show singing, and I believe I was going to try to pick out which one was Wayne, but there's so little, I'm not quite sure. I know this one is Jay right here. I think that's Merrill. I think this is Wayne. I could have him wrong, and I think that's Alan. So, yeah, so I'm not quite 100% positive. Aren't they adorable? And they're singing some really wonderful hymns. Now, all of my albums I have digitized, and I have them on my iTunes, and so they're on my iPod. So I get to enjoy these. We do have a turntable still. And so that was fun. So that's a later one that I found and collected, as well as this one. This one is such a cute album, just singing some Christmas songs. And let's see, I think, I want to say this is Wayne right here. That's Jay, Alan, and Merrill, I believe. Very cute, cute, super early albums. All right, here is when I really got into them. This was like 1971. So when I came back home from attending the School for the Blind, because I was only there a couple of years, when I could, you know, I would buy some albums. And way back then, they were like not too much money. I think maybe $5. I don't remember. This was their first album where they became really famous, and the big single out of this one is One Bad Apple. So there they are, and I think I can pick out Wayne out of here. Nope, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, there they are. Later on, as they grow older, I can tell who's who. Isn't that cool? Now this album also opened up like this. Now, as they started to record albums, they started to also um, write their own music. So this was the next album. It's called Homemade. And what a great album cover. Oh, I used to stare at these album covers for hours as I listened to the records for hours. Oh, and this one was just such a great album. I loved it as well. I love them all. This I think was one of my a favorite of the very early ones. It's called Phase 3, and so there they are there. Here's the back of it. And then this one opens up, and here is some concert footage, or, photos. So that was good. I liked this one. It was more rock and roll at the early 70s. So I really liked that one. I have a lot of favorites off that album. The next one was a live album, and I know they were touring all over. And I see some footage now on YouTube from the early days where they were in London, and they were really big overseas. So here's that album cover. And then this is the back of it. But here is the inside. It opens up like that. And this one's a double album. This is a great live album. And I was going to say something else about this live album. They do a lot of covers of the day, a lot of stuff that, was popular in the day. This was 1972, and again, I've seen some concert footage from this era. Just absolutely amazing. Their harmonies have always been just spot on since they were little tiny boys. Now this album, I have 2 copies of them. I think I found this one at the thrift store, and I'm like, why not? But this one was mine, and this one was just an amazing, just rock and roll album. They did write a lot of these songs, and this one was called Crazy Horses. And this song, Crazy Horses, was super popular, became one of their best sellers in the UK. So there's that album. Isn't that fun album? And then here's the back of the album. And then here is inside are the words, and I think they wrote the majority of these songs. So that was kind of, it just opens up to the lyrics and stuff like that. This next album, when I first bought it, and I have 2 copies of it as well. This one was mine that I originally bought. When I bought this, I thought, oh, it's just, another great rock and roll album. And because of all of the Osmonds writing in magazines way back in the day, like Tiger Beat, I don't remember the other magazines, but I do have them. They used to write articles about their faith and their family, and I was very intrigued. I'm like, wow, and what they believed, and that they didn't smoke, they didn't drink, and their lifestyle, and all about their religion. And so in 1978, I met up with someone that I was going to school with at the time. I was in 9th grade. And she and I met, and we were kind of chatting back and forth about, each other and getting to know each other. And she said, I'm a member of the Mormon faith. And I'm like, oh, the Osmonds are members of the church. And so I started attending activities with her. And I just loved it. I loved it. I felt like I was 14 at the time, and I just felt like that lifestyle is what how I wanted to live. I wanted to live a clean life, just that way of family, and so I started attending, and in October of 1978, I was baptized. And so I will be forever grateful that they were that they talked about the faith, their faith, and they talked about their values and their family life. And I think they have been, not that I think, I know that they've been amazing examples of the church, excuse me, for their whole life. And just like all of us, we all have trials and things that don't go, you know, we all have trials in our life, and certainly they have too, but they have remained faithful and true to what they believe. So, with that huge lead in, this is the album, and they wrote the songs on this album, and it's called The Plan. And it goes through the plan of salvation, which, is why are we here? Where did we come from? Why are we here? And where are we going? And they answer those questions in song. So in this first little flip out are the lyrics and who wrote them. And usually it was Alan, Wayne, and Merrill, and Jay. And then here's like a little picture of from the beginning to when we pass. And then here is the back of the cover. The next album, I think this album cover is kind of funny. This album is called Love Me for a Reason. Love the songs on this one. And check out the cover. If hopefully you're not getting a bunch of glare. Check out the cover. Look at the hats and the jackets, and I think Merrill's even wearing a chain around his neck. But isn't that kind of funny? Just love that album cover. It just represents 1970. I think this was 74 or 75. Great album. This next one was more of a, I don't want to say easy listening, but it was less rock and roll than the others. And love this one too. It's called The Proud One. And Wayne is the one standing right here in the white suit. And this is Merrill down at the bottom. Alan is in purple. I think that's Jay right here, and Donnie's on top of the jukebox. And then the back of it is just like that. Did I show you the back of this one? Oh, the back of this Love Me for a Reason was just that. And I don't think, I've been showing you the ones that flip out. Yeah. Okay. That one was the Proud One. Then they had a second live album. And this one is the Osmonds Around the World live in concert. And I always loved this album cover. And of course, this includes Jimmy and Marie. And they all, throughout the concert, would feature like songs that Donnie sang on his own, songs that Marie sang on her own, Jimmy, but then they'd come together as a family and sang certain songs together. This one here is Wayne. So that was a really fun album. This one also has a fold out, and it has a lot of their concert pictures. I thought that was fun. Again, staring at this for hours and just enjoying that album. This one was a greatest hit album, and it was an interesting cover, I thought. It was like, to me, like a drawing or something. I don't know what they were doing here. But that was their greatest hit album. And again, songs that just the brothers sang, just Donnie, just Jimmy, and just Marie. So they have, all their greatest hits. And Wayne is the one right here. And then inside, just a bunch of fun photos. And then on the back, which songs are on the album. All right, here's a Christmas album. Love this album. It never gets old. It's the Osmonds Christmas album, and this is what it's like. And again, there's songs that the brothers sing, that Marie sings alone, Donnie sings alone, Jimmy sings alone, and then they all come together and sing. And then here's just what the inside looks like. And then the back, it's just like, here's the front, and then here's the back. All right, here is the last Osmond album that all five of them did together: Alan Wayne, Merrill J, and Donnie. Then after this album, Donnie went on to do some more solo things, and so anyway, this album, I love this album. This is, I think, one of the prettiest albums. They're so gorgeous on here. I just love this album cover. And again, here is Wayne right there. So these ones I know. This is Donnie, Jay, Wayne, Merrill, and then Alan. I love this album cover. It's so gorgeous. Here's the back of it. This album, now it's just the four brothers, like when they originally started. Alan, Jay, no, let's see. Alan, Wayne, Jay, and Merrill. So Alan, Wayne, Jay, and Merrill. And this was a great album. This one, as much as I know about it, I know that the Bee Gees either helped produced or produced this album. And I just love this album. And this does, the back of it wasn't really, you know, much. But here is the inside. Isn't this gorgeous? Love it. And here is Wayne on the end here. Now, for Thursday's Tunes, the song I'm playing along with comes off this album. This was more of the day. It was like, if you know the Bee Gees from Saturday Night Live, not Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Fever, that has that sound on this album. That's the sound of this album. And the very last song of this album is called Rest Your Love. Now I didn't say the title right. Let me see. Well, Rest Your Love on Me. Rest Your Love. Well, I'll show it to you. You guys can see it. That's the song I'm going to be playing along with today. Rest Your Love on Me. I don't remember the title, and I can't read it. But anyway, that's the song I'm going to be playing with in just a bit. So I love this. So this has that Saturday Night Fever sound of the Bee Gees. But the very last song, again, the one that I'm going to be featuring today on Thursday's Tunes, that I'm playing along with, had such a country sound to it. It was a country song, and I thought, that's interesting, because the other ones weren't like that. And I thought, that's interesting. Well, I think they had a plan, because their next album was just called The Osmond Brothers, and it is a country album. So I'm like, maybe they were prepping us. I love this album. It's just some good country songs. And here is the back of the album. And let me point out Wayne. Wayne is the one right here on the end. Here's Jay, Merrill, and Alan on the end here. I love this album. It's just good country songs. And then here is the last album that I have, and it's called One Way Rider. And here's the album here. And again, just some really fun country songs. And I know that I think one of these songs hit the country charts really big. And so those are my albums that I have. Now, I do have a couple of other albums that I got when they were performing in Branson. And I never did make it to Branson to see them. But I do have some of those albums. And I do have albums that Merrill did on his own. And, of course, I've continued to buy Donnie's albums, solo albums, and Marie's solo albums. So that is, I wanted to really share those with you. I'll look up the name of the song that I'm going to be doing right now, just so I have the title correct for you. Before I move on and tell you about the song I'm doing for Thursday's Tunes, I want to share a little bit more about Wayne. Wayne was the fourth child out of 9 born to George and Olive Osmond. The 2 oldest brothers, Verl and Tom, were born deaf, so they weren't part of the performing Osmonds. However, they did learn how to dance and play saxophone. Of the performing Osmonds, it's Alan, Wayne, Meryl J., Donnie, and Marie, and Jimmy. Wayne was very talented. He played lead guitar as well as a lot of other instruments, as they all do. He danced, he wrote a lot of their songs, and he had that rich baritone voice. What stands out about Wayne to me is his sense of humor. He was always joking around. I think the other one that has a similar sense of humor in the family is Marie. So, on the Branson CDs that I have, um, they left in segments where Wayne is just joking around and telling a bunch of corny jokes. Funny, but corny. So, I just wanted to share a little bit more about Wayne. Okay, the song that I was trying to read that I'm going to be featuring today on Thursday's Tunes is called Rest Your Love on Me. Now, the Bee Gees wrote and released that song in 1979. Well, that's when this album was released, is in 1979. So I'm not sure if the Osmonds recorded it first or the Bee Gees recorded it first. Nonetheless, they were both recorded in 1979. All right, let's head on over to the band room and hope you enjoy.
Maybe you don't know me any more than I know you, and I wouldn't blame you if you walked away. I've been watching you all evening with the teardrops in your eyes, and it touches me much more than I can say. You know I hate to think that someone could have hurt someone like you, and at times like this I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Oh, lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Saw you in the corner on the moment I walked in. Saw your lonely face across the room. No, I won't forget it, and the way it might have been. Why did you have to leave me so soon? You know I hate to think that someone could have loved you more than me, and if I were him, I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulder,
joining me on Thursday's Tunes. I truly appreciate it. A big thanks to all the Osmonds, especially Wayne, for all the love, the laughter, the example, and all the music. Till next time, be safe, be happy, be positive, and you guys rock.